Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
We actually fled Canada because we didn't actually believe in Canada. 8 months ago, we said, F Canada, we don't want to be here anymore. If they're going to enforce these rules, if they're going to, do all this, we'll flee. We'll go somewhere else. So we did. We moved to Mexico, and we stayed there for 5 months. And you know what? Every person on the street was wearing a mask. Everyone at all times. And we realized, you know what? Canada is good. It's actually not Canada. It's the leadership. It's Trudeau. It's the COVID-19 rules. That's what's really the issue here. So we have to come back and fight. So we went across the border and we did nothing. We went across the land border here in Vancouver or here in Surrey, and we said, no, we will not do the PCR test. No, we will not follow these unethical, immoral, illegal rules.
Yeah, we already did it up there. So we got the fine already. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, it'll meet you down.
Oh, thanks so much. So there we go. That's how you refuse it, I guess. We didn't do the PCR tests. We didn't do their f***ing tests. Day 1, day 10. We're not doing any of that. But we'll chronicle everything and document it so that when they get their f***ing asses sued, because they broke every rule, every charter in the human rights. Charter of Human Rights. So
we'll be contacting our lawyers, our freedom fighting lawyers.
yeah.
The Justice Center, Rebel News, Fight the Fines.
We've had a lot of Fight the Fines wins lately. If you don't know what Fight the Fines is, that's where we provide top-notch lawyers at no cost to Canadians who have found themselves in legal trouble for things like, I don't know, peacefully protesting or not wearing a mask in the store. And sometimes they even get charged for these things. Thank you for everybody who has contributed to them. You can catch out our wins and our active cases at fightthefines.com. But in today's report, I'm going to tell you about a victory for freedom that happened so fast, we could barely keep up with the report to show you about it.
Yeah, we already did it up there. So we got the fine already. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, it'll meet you down.
Oh, thanks so much. So there we go. That's how you refuse it, I guess.
I'm here with Lori, Hallie, and Aaron, one of our Fight the Fines cases, the whole family, because you guys tried to return into our country, right?
We did. We were returning from Mexico to Canada, and we were concerned about some of the complications we were going to be receiving at the airport, so we decided to fly into Seattle and then cross the land border at Peace Arch. And when we crossed the border at Peace Arch, we had a few problems. We were detained for about 4 hours. We were threatened that we were forced to go to the COVID hotel. We denied PCR tests, though. We denied all the quarantines, and we ended up getting almost a $4,000 fine each.
Each?
Yes, each.
Oh my goodness.
So,
did they find the kids?
No, just the grown-ups. Yeah, just the adults. So me and my partner, yeah.
You know, that's happened before. They have fined kids. Now, so we helped contract a lawyer to try to help you guys fight that, but
Yes.
we didn't even get to that because what happened?
Well, it was interesting. We've been waiting and waiting, and we had went into the ICBC office to officially fight the fine and actually to say we weren't going to pay these. And the woman actually we had talked to at ICBC had said most of these get thrown out. So we found that quite interesting. So we just kind of smiled, filed our tickets, and went on our way. And about last week sometime, I got a letter from ICBC. And it was a simple letter. And I thought, why is ICBC contacting us? And it said, we received your fines. It's been acknowledged, but we have found them to be invalid. And all fines have been canceled.
Woo!
Yeah. Just like that. I remember I had a post office box in North Van, and I actually literally cheered and screamed in the building, and everyone was looking at me, and I thought, does it matter? Sweet victory.
It is a sweet victory for freedom and common sense, really. How much would you have had to pay if you had, I guess, complied with where they were trying to make you quarantine?
Well, if you include the price of the COVID hotel, I think it's $2,000 per person. So it would have been $8,000 for a family of 4. And we just weren't willing to do that. It was against our constitutional rights and freedoms. So we said, no, not doing anything. And we were fully prepared when we walked across the border. We had our charter rights with us. We were we were armed and prepared to fight. So there was no way they were going to take us away.
Yes. Now, we interviewed the other part of the family, Sean, but like I said before, we could even get to business.
Yes.
You heard from ICBC. For those of you who don't know, in BC, they're starting to make it so that if you have, I guess, outstanding COVID fines, you don't get to renew your license. But in this case, you could go ahead and do that,
You know,
right?
what I suggest is if you get a ticket, fight it. Because if you show and prove that you're actually fighting it, they can't make you pay it. Like what I'm saying is they can, like if you put the indication that you're fighting this, they cannot hold back your driver's license because there's a court action taking place.
Right.
So,
Well, that's good advice. We see a lot of people just write, I think, rescinded and think it's going to disappear. So,
no, fight it.
yeah. And that's what we've been doing for those of you who don't know at fightthefines.com. We hopefully we at least relieve some stress so that you knew you weren't going to be left alone. But in most cases, we are actually fighting and sometimes criminal charges for these. So if you ever do want to support the over 1,000 people we are helping, you can do so by donating at fightthefines.com. Now, what did you guys want to add? Like, is this crazy? You go out with your family, you try to get home, and you're treated like criminals.
Yeah, actually, I'll say about that. When we were coming back from Mexico, we were really scared. We're in Mexico City. We're like, we need to go home. We need to get health care. There's stuff we can't do in Mexico. I remember sitting at the table and being like, how the hell are we going to get home? Because we had to PCR test flight costs. And I don't know if you know the procedure, but it's really complicated. And we're like, well, we could cross the land border. And the problem was my mom was concerned of us, because I was underage at the time, concerned about us being taken by Child Protective Services and taken to quarantine hotels and vaccines and all that stuff. So that was one of the reasons. Then we decided we're just going to cross the land border. We're going to arm ourselves with the Human Charter of Rights because it's our right and cross the border. But we got detained and the fines and everything. But it's okay because we fought it now. But yeah.
I'm just grateful we made it home because that was so much stress on us to actually go through the process of doing all the research to figure out how we're actually going to get back into our own country when it's our right. They're like stopping Canadian citizens from entering their own country. They can't do that. So we're one of the lucky ones that got our fines dropped, and my heart goes out to anyone that is still fighting fines with this. So they're going to get dropped, everyone, if you're watching this. So don't worry.
Well, I certainly hope so. So no invasive PCR tests for you guys, and no close to $8,000 in fines for you guys, and you're back home. So
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Hallie. I'm going to turn 18 in a week, and I'm losing my future to this f***ing medical tyranny. And I have a really hard time with public speaking because I have anxiety, but this is important enough to stand up against because so many people in this generation will not stand up. And it's time that we start doing that. Hi, my name is Erin. I'm her twin sister. I am also almost 18 years old, and I have some things to say about this medical tyranny because too many people in my generation are not standing up for this, and it is ridiculous because we have lost too much from this. We've lost our future, we've lost our opportunities to go to different schools and live a life that we deserve to live because of the f***ing government they're taking everything away from us. What else do we have to lose?
Big Tech is trying to silence us for bringing you the other side of the story, but we're not going to let that happen. Go to rebelnews.com, give us your phone number and your email so that we don't lose touch.